Roar! Excuse me. The following review is going to be on Studio Series 86, Leader Class, Dinobot, Slug, and Daniel Witwicky. Stay tuned. Rodimusbill here, and today we're going to do a review on the Studio Series 86 Leader, Dinobot, Slug, and Daniel Witwicky from Transformers the movie. Now, first things first, he is named Slug and not Slag because Slag is a slang in England, so they just decided to change the name to Slug. And if you're new to this channel, please hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and check out my playlists. Now, back to the box, we've got Studio Series 86-07, Dinobot, Slug, and Daniel Witwicky, Hasbro, the Transformers logo, Generations, and there is the Transformers the movie logo from 86. On this side, we've got Daniel and Slug right there. On the other side, it is again the same picture. On the back, big screen inspired scale detail backdrop. Dinobot, Slug, it is the mockery of justice. You have dinosaur to robot in 32 steps, backdrop included. It says Dinobot Slug excuse himself as he stomps over a crushed Quintesson. And there's the UPC. So now let's get this guy out of the package and see what we've got. And now that he's out of the package, we're going to take a look at his accessories. First, we're going to look at Daniel Witwicky. Now, this is the same mold as the old wheelie that came with Grimlock. So the articulation is the arms. You can move up and down. You can rotate it like that. And the leg is on a ball joint. You can move them around that, but no knee or whatsoever. No head articulation. And if you want these guys to stand up, you got to get creative like that. Alright, next accessory is his gun. And it is very much detailed. It's not hollow, which is good. It's cast in a gray mold, and it's actually pretty detailed. It's pretty cool. And the instruction booklet. 8607 Dinobot Slug. Alright, there is no surprises there. And you put Daniel, one little peg onto the arm. You could peg him with these little pegs on the robot mode or the dinosaur mode. And here's where he sits. Now you got two figures. You can have them sit on the arm. I don't understand what that is. But, and then his gun stays on his arm. And his wave mate is Grindu and Ravage. Now let's look at Slug. And we'll bring in one more. And we've got the Pit of Judgment scene, or what's it called? It is called the Mockery of Justice, where he breaks down the door, and there is Slag right there. Now, first, to talk about this figure, some QC problems. I am not happy with this figure at all. First of all, I get the figure, and right off the bat, one of these is broken off. Now, you could see right there, that clip's broken. I would assume this little pin is what locks it in, but mine's broken. Right off the bat, right out of the package. That's one issue. Two issue, this peg right here already broke. Right here, you'll see I've got super glue on it already. Because if you're not careful with this peg breaks. There it is on the other side, nice and smooth. This freely flops around. This breaks. I had to super glue it like twice with this on. So you got the broken horn, and you got that piece right there. It is just, I am not happy with my Slug figure. I love the figure. He's really neat. But it's just, I don't know if I got a bad copy or if Hasbro done a crappy job of QCing. But, so just when you get yours, be careful of these pegs right here. you know, when you transform these, make sure you're going to have to move this a lot, so make sure this is folded down. And the horn, I have no idea what that happened. So, alright, so his gun goes in his hand like that, no big deal. And you've got a little slot right there. You got one little tab for Daniel. So what you can do is plop this guy here. He doesn't stay in that good. And there is Slug with Daniel. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring in Grimlock with Wheelie for a comparison. So this is why these are leader prices, because you get these little non-transformable figures. Now I know there's a Wheelie upgrade where you can have better legs, so I'm sure they'll have an upgrade for this guy. And notice Slag is a little taller, but we'll get into them later. And, alright, now let's take a look at Slug. I'm going to call him Slag, because he was always known as Slag, ever since G1. Alright, first we'll take a look at the face. You've got that nice red face and metallic blue eyes. This is a fake mouthpiece. You got the Autobot symbol, and still it's got some details. You have the red chest. You have all molded details here. You got the blackish, I guess, gunmetal gray right there for the abdomen. And you go to the waist. I noticed these two are different color reds. No big deal. You go down the leg. You got some green and blue. And I mean, look at the details they got etched on. They got all this detail. They've got like little vents there. You got vents on the feet. I mean, you go down here and you still have all these details etched in. And the arms, you got little darker black, and then you got the gray. I mean, look at all these details. The arms, they painted the hands. They're like a matte black. And then you come to the back. You've got the tail, you've got his wings. I mean, look at these details. They really did a good job. They got little rocket launchers, which Slag never had. And I noticed he got a 5mm peg there. And he's got some 5mm pegs here, so he can be weaponized, which we will do at the end of the video. And let's see, articulation. His head does move 360 degrees. You don't snap this piece down, but his head can move up and down. The arms are on a nice ratchet. But again, if you're not careful, you could pull this piece right out and break this off. So you can't really do the 360 around. He's got double jointed. Yeah, you got this hinge right here. And then he's got the elbow, more than 90. He has a waist rotation that's 360 degrees, part of transformation. The other hand, the hands do a 360 degrees. You know, again, you got that double out, and they even go out like that, which is pretty cool. I like how they fill in these space fields. They even do the details right there. Now, let's see. He can kick forward more than 90. He can kick back all the way. He can do the whole split. Let's see. Knees more than 90 degrees, which is nice. And he's got ankle. No ankle. Oh, ankle rockage. I knew the ankles moved too. And like I said, he's got, so if you want to fossilize him, you got a 5mm peg there. You got one there. You got one back here, which is nice. And one more thing. And we're just going to get some blast effects out here. And that is a, they make the gun, but it got this itty bitty little knob right there. So any heavy blast effects, let's see, it's gonna fall off. There you go. So we can have them with blast effects. Okay. Now we got that done, let's do some robot-to-robot comparison. Now, our first robot-to-robot, we're going to bring in Leader Class Grimlock. And Slag is actually taller if you count the top of the mouth. So that is how those guys line up. Here is Power of the Prime, Slag, big difference. This is much more cartoon accurate. And I do like the scale with Optimus Prime, because in the original episode he did look up to the Dinobots. And then we're going to bring in some Studio Series figures. This is Hot Rod. I remember Ultra Magnus saying, "Hot Rod, get the Dinobots in the shuttle." So that is a deluxe, and that is Hot Rod. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep these here, and we're just going to do all the Studio Series. We're going to bring in Cup. We got Hot Rod. We're going to bring in Jazz. And we're going to bring in Blur. And then we're going to bring in Voyager Cyclonus. We're going to bring in Voyager Scourge and Cyclonus. We'll put Grimlock back here. And I want to bring in, we'll show you that now. See, so that is a truly leader-size figure. When you compare it to the Voyagers, Deluxes should be smaller than Voyagers. Voyagers should be smaller than leader classes. So, we're going to get these guys out here. And we're going to bring in leader class Galvatron. Which is actually, he's actually a little taller than most Voyagers, but I think he's a leader class because all the accessories he comes with. And just for fun, we're going to bring in a Quintesson, and we're going to bring in the Prosecutor. So that is how all those guys line up. And that is it for the comparisons. Now, to transform this guy without breaking any more pieces off of him, we're going to remove Daniel, and we're going to remove the gun. Now, this is pretty cool, because Grimlock, when you put his hands in, he had that big gap right there. What you do with Slag is you rotate his arms 180, and you push him in, and that's it. So now you got no holes, and they're hidden away. Whoops, there, and you just pop those in and you hide them away. So we're just going to put these up here. I think we're going to do the feet first. So what you want to do is these peg in right here. So you unpeg all this and get it out of the way. You want to rotate the waist, and of course everything's on friction hinges, so everything pops off. Rotate the waist to 180. Come here to the feet. This little section rotates up like that, and then unlock the feet, and this section rotates around, replace that, and replace that. Pretty neat. So, angle this up. Let's see, loosen the foot up, rotate this out, put the foot back, put that back. So, next you want to ratchet the legs up and bring these down. And as you bring these down, there's a tab right here. You're going to get this part of the foot in. So, pull this down, and right there, lock that in. That leg's done. Ratchet this up, and they will come out. Ratchet this up, rotate this around, and we try to lock in this leg. That's pretty good. Whoops. There. Alright. Now we're going to do the head. So, we're going to pull this down, the fake mouthpiece. The head, we're going to fold down, and this whole area is going to go up like that. And so this forms the mouth, and it hides the head completely. Now I kind of wish they would have painted that, because in robot mode that's all you see is the white. But okay, now this is the tricky part. You want to make sure these fold down, because that's how mine broke, and then you want to pull these in just enough, Oh, and I think this is broken. Yep, and this broke again. It broke again. Look at that. See? Piece of crap. That's why you gotta be very careful. You gotta make this piece down. The thing I'm just do is buy another one of these and then return this one, because you pay 50 bucks for a figure and it shouldn't break. See, this is the tricky part. You've got to angle that, and so these, come on, there. This is the hardest part of this figure. There. So these are about even, and then this will lock those into place. See, and now this tab broke again, so I don't think there's any hope fixing it this time. And we'll just put the feet down. Now come over here. You've got a tab right there. You got a slot right there. So you want to just bring these down like that. Maybe we should wait to the end to do that. Yeah. This you want to snap down so it's flat. Okay, now this, you've got these two slots here and you got these two tabs here. Let me put the tail back on. Anything with a friction hinge like this, if they ever come apart once, they're going to be forever loose. And this guy is just, I would call him a beast, but he's a dinosaur. Maybe I can go up like this. There. Alright. So, lower the camera. You've got, these are his old feet in dinosaur mode. They're just going to sit right over this little hump. Like that. Push this down so it's flat. Now what you want to do is you got to get these two tabs lined up. So, and that's not the easiest thing to do because it wants to go at it at a weird angle. So line this up. See, again, it's very hard to get this at that angle. Did I put this on right? Yeah, I put it on right. Come on, I don't think I did this right. It had to be right. Hold on. Alright, let's try this again. If we can get one side in, it will fit both sides. Alright, we're going to try snapping this in there. I think we got it. We got one side in. And alright, we got both sides in there. So this will come down, and when this comes down, you've got right here will snap in. So that snaps in, secures the tail, and then you can put this tab in that slot. Again, there's the tab, there's a slot. And we're still not done. Then last, we take the legs over here. We pull the legs out, and then we pull the feet out. So it hides everything pretty good. It hides that out, and then it hides this out. And then you could get them in a normal stance like that. We'll push this back here, push this back here, and let's see. Yep, those are locked in. Those are locked in. And the gun, you just put back here, and even forms part of the tail, which is pretty good. And there is Slag, and you can just put the feet however way you want it. Let's see. Actually, we'll do a little like that. Alright. So yeah, this is not the greatest figure. Alright, and there is Slag. And this piece Again, little broken tab. I thought I fixed it, but I didn't. And the horn, again, broke. QC issues, but all in all, that is Slag. Now, we'll take a look at Slag. You got the blue metallic eyes, which is pretty cool. You got the white silver horns. They're kind of hollow, though, on the inside, which is pretty neat. Pretty goofy. This horn's painted gold. These horns are silver. You might want to get the same color horns. This is pretty cool how it's all that texture. Looks like all vents. But yes, of course, mine's broken off now. And you got, look at the detail though, like on the wings right here. You've got a lot, these little rockets, but if you launch the rockets, they're going to hit his face, his thing around his head. So, but still, look at all the details etched in here. And even the gun matches the etching on the tail. You got some detail there. You got some detail there. The legs are hollow, but not much you can do about it. Let's see. His mouth moves pretty good, and he does have a little port in his mouth. So you're gonna have to get a thin like that. I wonder if I could. Maybe this one works too with the longer one. And you can have him breathing smoke. It's at a weird angle, so there's not much you can do about it. But there is Slag. And he's got these two same bars right there. If you remember with Wheelie, you've got this right here and this right here. So what you want to do is just slide that in there. Let's see. There's that one in there. That's in there. And, oops. There you have Wheelie riding Slag into battle. Alright, that is Slag. Now if you want him getting straight, let's see, you can lower the front. And you could, oh, there we go. Didn't do the back legs all properly. So now he could swing this. There, now he can stand up straight and proper. And there is Slag. So in dinosaur mode, he's a nice looking figure in dinosaur mode. And he's a nice figure in robot mode. But again, this, when you transform it, this is, it's going to break like mine did. I didn't have it 5 minutes and the damn thing broke. And the horn, I don't know what's up with that. You know, so definitely QC issues. I hope the one you get is a lot better. Don't be discouraged. Maybe mine's just a dud. Like I said, I'll have to find another one and return this one. Say, hey, I paid 50 bucks for a figure that's falling apart already. So, and bottom doesn't look much, you know, hollow space, but that's no big deal. There's the fake mouth. And that is Slug or Slag. Now let's compare him to a few other dinosaurs. And our first dinosaur comparison, we're going to do Grimlock and Wheelie. So that right there, I think the Dinobots always deserve to be leader class, because this is a nice scale. They've always been that big. And we're going to bring in Power of the Primes, Slag. That's what those guys look like. And we're just going to bring in Optimus Prime, Voyager for comparison. We're going to bring in leader class Galvatron, so that's a little more better comparison. And I'm going to bring in Ractonite. He is the Triceratops fossilizer. And that's what those two guys look like. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fossilize them in, we're going to keep them in dinosaur mode. We're going to take a Ractonite apart real quick. Now, I've never done this before with this guy, so I figured I'd do it all live. Now, let's see what we can do. Alright, so we can do this on the front. Yes, that looks good. And we'll do this on the front. Hey, the only reason why they have these here is you'd have to think they would for fossilizing, because they have all these 5mm pegs. And then on this one, what we can do is, let's see, this guy has a peg. Yes, he's got a peg right there. So we can put this right here. There. Alright. So we'll stick Daniel back on there real quick. We'll put this right here. And we can put this guy here. There you go. Now he's got 2 heads are better than 1. Let's see. Now we've got this. We'll put this in here. There you go. We'll put the other leg in the other 5mm port. And we're just gonna, we'll use, I'm running out of things. Alright, we'll keep them like that. And, let's see, no other ports up. Is this a 5mm port? I think that's just for looks. Yeah, that's just for looks. Actually, let's really do this guy like that. We'll do this like that. How's that? And then we will put this in here. There. Kind of like that. And we'll put this over here. So now he's got 2 on this side. And there is Slag fossilized. So you got a 5mm port there. You got 1 here. You got 1 back there. You've got 1 here. And you've got 2 on the front. So that's pretty cool. And now we're going to transform him back. So let's take the fossilizer pieces off. Alright. Now we'll take Daniel off, pull the gun back out. Alright, now let's fold the legs in. So these all get folded in. And these all get folded in like that. Let's see. There we go. So now these are completely tucked away. We'll separate these a little to release the tail. Release these. Pull this whole thing up and get it out of the way. Now let's work on the legs. So you want to extend the legs like that. Disconnect it here. Extend the legs, and they got such nice right here. Nice ratchet and a nice double bend right there. So, and then lift this up. You can rotate this, just, you got to get this in the middle like that for clearance. There you go. And then lift this up. Fold this, move that out. Fold that there. I like to push these up, close that out. Lock the legs down. And rotate at the waist. So now his feet are ready to go. Now, top, we can do the hands last. Let's fold this down. Now here is the part. Now, you got to untab this. Now without breaking this one, what you want to do is slowly wiggle this out like that, move this down there, and that will go there. The other one snapped off already, so you got to be very careful about how you do these, like that. And then take the mouth, you got to grab the head and separate it from all this. Whoops, I got to separate. So you want to do is push all this down like that, and then these will come up here, and everything comes up nice and neat like that. And then come back here. If you can't get the hands out, what you can always do is put the gun in it and get the hands out like that, and then rotate it around, and then it's the correct orientation. Again, if you want to just use the gun to bring the hand up, turn it over, and now come to the back. You got 2 tabs there, 2 slots here, so that just pegs in there. And what you want to do with this is this folds up. You know what? Oh, there. And this double folds up. You'll see all these fold right here. And notice how this piece right here, see that groove? This will fit right in there. See how that fits right there perfectly? And then this, you just want to snuggle up against there. That's locked in. Wings out. Slug is done. There you go. And you can put the gun in here, and then you got Daniel. So, he's pretty compact. Everything folds up nice and neat. Yeah, it does hang a little from the bottom, but that's not really noticeable. He's got wings like Dinobot should. Everything's locked in there. And there he is. So, while he's in this mode, let's get out our Articulation dude. So there's that peg right there. Stick that in. There we go. We got that. Well, you know what? Can we add to this? Oh, we'll just keep it like that. And then these things will go right here. This is the smaller one. We'll put up here in the arms. You know, so it's weird. Some of the Kingdom figures, like Optimus Primal and Cheetor, you can't fossilize, even though the fossilizers are in, you know, the Kingdom line. And then you got stuff like these, where they're Studio Series, but you could fossilize them. My guess is they did not know which ones they were going to do for Kingdom and which for Studio Series, like Cyclonus. This is Studio Series quality, 86. And there is Slug with a few of the, Ractonite on him. So now he's all armored up. So, that is it for this review. I'm sorry my Slag is not the best condition. You just got to be careful. I just wish they would have done a better way of doing these, because you got to keep moving them back and forth, and you got to keep this from breaking, like mine broke. The horn, I have no idea how this broke. Maybe, I assume that's supposed to be a complete circle, probably when it was shipped. So I think I just got a dud, but alright, well, this review is about over, so make sure you like, subscribe to my channel. If I still have a Big Bad Toy Store link down below, click on that. That helps me a lot. And I guess that's about it. So stay tuned for the next either Studio Series 86 or Kingdom figure. And Rodimusbill saying, "Excuse me." Roar. Excuse